Coming up on American Restoration.
Hey, pal, what's up?
I'm getting ready for you to ride it, man.
How much time have we got to do this in?
Including today, 3 days.
Put these wheels together, Petey. It's so old. Actually, a really dangerous setup.
They've been known to kill people.
So you're thinking a 67 Mustang, huh?
Yeah, I love the Eleanor, the whole Gone in 60 Seconds, but I want to Bodie fight it.
Okay, right on.
Across this country, 5 shops are breathing new life into classic American designs. From rusted out Mustangs to broken down Harleys and everything in between. Each job has a story.
Love these things.
This is American Restoration.
What are you doing? Got ourselves a Mustang. Not long ago, I got a call from Dan Reynolds, lead singer of the Grammy-winning rock band Imagine Dragons. He's looking for a modernized version of a 67 Mustang Fastback.
I love the Eleanor from the whole Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
This is kind of my starting ground, but I want to Bodie fight it.
Okay, right on.
Crazy is good.
Crazy is good, so the crazier the better. He wants this thing done by the time him and his band get back from his European tour, which only gives us 4 months to completely go through this thing and totally customize it.
And he wants it to look like the Eleanor, you said?
Yeah, maybe give it a, a little bit of our touch. Eleanor was the name given to the custom Mustang in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds. Both the old version with Steve McQueen and the new version with Nicolas Cage. There's a lot of changes that make this car what it is. A new hood with a new hood scoop, a new bumper, you got new grills, you got more headlights up front. On Dan's build, we're only using the Eleanor as a base model. He's given me his input on what he wants, but he's also allowing me to be creative, which I absolutely love. This is a good find.
These fastbacks are hard to come by.
I think it's in great shape. It's probably the most solid 67 Mustang we're gonna find in California.
The moldings all look pretty good.
Yep, I was looking at how they fit around the windows. Yeah. Everything fits really nice. Door gaps are good. As nice as this Mustang is, we still got to tear it down and do a frame-up restoration. The motor I'm thinking about is a supercharged Roush 5.0 Coyote engine, 630 horsepower. The factory frame won't handle it, so I'm going to have to rip that out. I'm going to have to build a custom chassis, new suspension, disc brakes front and rear, put the new wheels. So we got tons of improvements we got to make to this car. I'd say we'd have Kirk make some stuff out of metal. That way it's not all fiberglass, make it a little bit different than everybody else. Put in a new motor and trans and make this thing run like a brand new car.
That'd be awesome.
Pull her in her spot and just start tearing it down. Let's start by ripping out the motor, the trans, all the front suspension. Let's cut out all this chassis, these inner fenders, shock towers, and let's start cutting frame rails out. We'll sandblast it, take a look at what we got, and just start putting her back together. A bigger motor means we need more space. To make more space, we're going to have to move the firewall back. The firewall is what separates the passenger and the driver cabin from the engine bay. Hopefully moving the firewall back is going to create the space we need, and that's why I got Kirk spearheading this to get this done. I think we want to cut this hump out right around here, and we'll make it flat. It's going to make it easy to square up. You know how our frame rails go in there?
You need me to get these out of the way?
Yeah, you can get those out of the way. And go ahead and start fabricating a piece and putting it in here. All right?
Fantastic.
Cool.
There's 2 pieces of floor in here, and you don't really know why that's there. They took a whole section of a Mustang floorboard and stuck it on the inside. It's not supposed to be like that. So there's like a gap, and people think like Bondo and glue and stuff can hold a car together.
Kirk's cutting a piece of sheet metal to fill in a hole on the firewall. Want him to get it as close as possible. That way there's not much grinding work. Get it tacked in there, Then we'll finish up the chassis and we'll be able to figure out where we're at. How's it going, man?
Got it tacked up.
Yeah?
I think we're looking pretty good.
Awesome. That looks a lot better. Just gained 3 inches of room. That way we can get the motor back as far as possible. Looks good, man.
Hey, pal, what's up?
Crockers are what's up. Today we're restoring a 1937 Hemi head Crocker. Mind you, only 26 Hemi head Crockers were ever built. Now, every year at Wheels Through Time near season's end, we start and run some of the rarest bikes in the world. This year, we chose the Crockers. Bob and I are going to run not one Crocker, but 2 Crockers, if I can get this machine rebuilt. I'm getting ready for you to ride it, man. It's our goal at Wheels Through Time to make sure all of these motorcycles run. No matter how rare or how old or how valuable, it's an important component to the living legacy of these machines. People will come far and wide to hear this machine run, and it's my job to deliver. This year, we're going to start the 2 Crocker motorcycles. Here, jump right in here. Do me a favor. Yeah, you get to ride. I can't ride both of them. Here, kick that thing over, will you? I bought the Hemi Crocker from an old pal of mine in California over 25 years ago, and I rode it quite a bit. And when it quit running so well, I decided I better take it apart, and that was many years ago. Now, I've decided now is the time to put the Hemi back together. In 1936, Al Crocker developed the Twin, and only a few were built.
Look what he did with these. I mean, this is Art Deco at its best.
The Hemi Crocker was truly a groundbreaking motorcycle. Back in 1936, when the overhead valve Harley was making 30 horsepower, Al Crocker's machine were making 50. At World War II, Al quit building his motorcycles in Los Angeles and went on to producing aircraft parts for the industry. Every Crocker today is rare, valuable, and hard to find. We got a lot of work to do. Parts to clean, heads to put on it when they get back. I got to build a carburetor. Got to put the chain on it.
How much time have we got to do this in?
Including today, 3 days. Let's go. Come on.
Let's go.
God, this thing is filthy. There's only 3 days left before our big celebration at Wheels Through Time, and I've got to get this Hemi Crocker running, but there's lots of work to do. Engine assembly, tank assembly, and I've got to get it completely tuned from front to back. Also, there's parts I sourced that aren't here yet. Any delay in those parts, and this project could be a total dud. Hand me that carb there, please.
Oh, yeah. The Crocker carb. I love it.
You got it?
I got it. Okay.
That's pretty goofy. Look at that.
Oh, my.
Oh, man. Look at the rust.
That's it.
Look at that.
Spring coming out? Yeah, it didn't break.
That's how you do it. Look at that. Look. Think it's been sitting for a while?
I think so.
The white powder in the carburetor's corrosion caused from it sitting too long with no gas. If I try to run that carburetor with corrosion, it'll clog up your engine faster than you could say internal combustion. What I've got to do is clean this carb from front to back, top to bottom, in order for the Crocker to run at its best. It's got to be put together with absolute precision. There's no mistakes on the carburetor. They're not very forgiving. The carburetor is what's called a mixer that mixes air and gasoline into a vapor. The vapor is a very explosive combination, and that is what makes all the explosions in your engine. It's not the gasoline that explodes, it's the mixture or the vapor. Now, the little screws in the carburetor, these little guys right here, these are what make the mixture, and these actually allow certain amounts of that fuel to mix with the air that's passing through the carburetor at a high rate of speed. This little guy right here, that opens and closes and opens and closes, and that allows air and fuel into your engine, and the wider you go, the faster you go. Having that immense amount of just crap and crud, this carburetor was long overdue for a good cleanup.
I got your float done, pal. Clean as a whistle. Check this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man. And the piece de resistance?
Nice. Hey, do me a favor. Go up front and check and see if those heads are in.
Got it.
I'm more than worried. If these heads don't get back, we're screwed.
Keep on coming. Bring her on in. Come down.
Wait.
There we go.
Wait.
What's the matter?
What's up, boss?
Do you know what an Izzata Fracchini is? Fracchini?
It's a pizza, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a pizza. It's a very rare Italian classic car, and Alan just bought it, and it needs some help, so we've got to go get it. Alan is a regular client of ours. Besides being the donut king of New York, he's also an avid classic car collector. Now, this particular car is not just a classic car. It's a 1924 Isotta Fraschini Tipo 8A, and it's extremely rare. It was basically the competitor of the Duesenberg in its time. You know, I mean, they were really sought-after cars. The company started in 1900 in Milan. The first Isotta was a 4-cylinder, 24-horsepower car that the founder of the company, Vincenzo Fraschini, drove in car races. The Italian manufacturer, Isotta Fraschini, marketed these cars to Hollywood stars and American aristocrats. But ironically, they only built the chassis and engines for these cars, and they shopped the coaches out to coach builders in Italy. So this Tipo 8A car was actually only offered with a bare chassis and engine for the coach builders. And this one here is a LeBaron body.
Oh, that's nice.
Alan wants to make a reliable driver out of it. It's really not horrible, but it's got some pretty bad issues. It has wooden wheels. These are the original wood spoke wheels. He tried driving it and it was shaking like crazy.
Oh,
so I'm assuming that all the spokes are probably loose.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a frame off, you know, complete huge job. It's still a pretty good amount of work. You got a minute to go for a ride and get this?
Now?
Yeah, now. What are you doing?
Lunch is coming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lunchtime. We'll stop and get lunch. We'll get the car.
Okay.
Well, let's hook the trailer up. Wiley, you want to go for a ride?
Come on, Wiley.
You want to go get a car with us?
Get off the couch.
Let's go. Come on, Wiley. Let's go. One of the main focuses of the Isotta restoration is the wheels. As you can imagine, almost 100-year-old wooden wheels have taken a pretty good beating in their life, and we've got some structural work to do to them. Not to mention making them look good, too. Our biggest issue is that all the spokes are loose. So we're going to actually make shims to go in between these spokes and get these things rock solid again so that the car is not going to wobble going down the road. We need to start by sandblasting them. Then we're going to put a spray poly on here. It's almost like a finish putty. We'll be able to block that smooth, get these things looking perfect again. Then we can do all of our finish priming and painting, get them hand pinstriped, cleared, and they'll be looking like $1 million again. It's very important that you don't just go at wooden wheels with a sandblaster on high pressure because that could compromise the integrity of these things. So we're going to use a crushed glass, which is a really soft media, and it's going to gently take away all the paint, all the texture and coatings that are on these wheels without damaging the wood. We're going to get them in the paint booth. I'm going to put 3 coats of spray polyester on there. Then we can block that down and start doing our final work on them. But they're looking really good. Now it's time for the next step. Put these wheels together, Petey.
Sounds good. Some wheels, aren't they?
So much work. Now that the Isotta wheels are all restored, hand pinstriped, painted beautifully, looking really good, Pete and I are mounting them to the metal rings and tires, and we're going to put these things on the vehicle and take it for a test drive so that we know for sure this car is going to be safe going down the road.
These cars back then used a bead lock system to keep the rims together. The bead lock wedges itself between the rim and the outer rim, and then these locks here, they hold that bead tight down in.
It's actually a really dangerous setup for the guy taking the tire off of the rim.
They've been known to kill people coming off. That looks great, Steve.
Yeah, it does, Pete.
We do not have much time on this, so let's get the cart underneath it as quick as possible, and then you guys start plasma cutting out the frame rails.
Let's do it.
Good, let's do it. We're working on a 1967 Mustang Fastback for Dan Reynolds, and we're about to put in the new frame rails. We have a cart that we've made that holds everything in place and makes it easy for us to weld it all up.
start setting it down.
Yeah. You gotta make a little brace for the core support so that once we cut the frame rails out, this will hold the core support in place. It's important that you keep all the factory mounts in place where the fenders went, so that way when you go to put back on the hood hinges, the front fenders, it all lines up pretty easy. It's not gonna line up perfect, but it makes it a little bit easier. Should hold it.
Caesar, you know where you're cutting, right? Don't cut through the firewall. Cut around and cut this torque box out, and then we'll just cut close to the floor. All right?
Dan's a high-end client, and this is going to be a high-profile build. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on this thing. That's part of the reason I'm putting my own chassis and all my own suspension in this thing, because at the end of the day, I want this to ride and handle and feel like a brand new car. All right, bring me a frame rail. Glove. One down, one more to go. Let's do it. Right, let's keep going.
Where'd you put the generator cover?
It's on the table there.
There's no generator cover over here.
It's got to be right here.
There is no generator cover here, Dale.
Only 2 days left to get the Hemi Crocker running for the big day at Wheels Through Time, and I'm getting all the final parts ready for assembly. Oh, look at that. A Crocker cam. There's a shifter drum. Ooh, I can get lost in the 30s right here. Bob! Ha! Look! It's a whole housing. That's it? Bob, you're going to be riding.
Just cut the center out.
Let's get it done.
Okay. Wow.
There's a lot of people very anxious to see this thing run, and I'm anxious to see it run, too. There we go, right in there, man. We got to get the seat put on it.
Here we go.
We've had some interesting hiccups in working through the checklist on the 37 Crocker. With only a day and a half left, things seem to be going smoothly, but time is winding down. Now, we build a lot of publicity with events like this when we run two bikes on such a great day. However, we only have one of these machines running. I've got to get this 37 done.
This is all your Crocker stuff.
Well, that's what's left of the Crocker stuff.
There's no CT in here, pal.
What do you mean there's no CT?
There is no CT. Take a look. There's no CT.
What the hell?
We got a ride tomorrow. Want to go ride on a fender?
In 1936, motorcycles didn't have a rear suspension. That work was done by the seat. On a Crocker motorcycle, the seat is connected to the frame with a hinge-like item called a CT. Like every other part on a Crocker, this part is hard to find.
Think. Stop and think.
See, when I took the bikes apart, all the parts stayed on this tray right here.
It's not here. What are you going to do?
You got a CT.
What do you mean I got a CT? I don't have a CT.
Yeah, you do. It's on your bike sitting right over there.
That's an Indian Scout.
Yeah, I know it. Al Crocker used one part, and only one part, off an Indian motorcycle when he built his Crocker motorcycles, and that was the CT. You know, back in the day, Crocker was accused of stealing Harley-Davidson's ideas and Indians' ideas. He really didn't. This bike is totally his own design. The one part he did use was the CT.
Let me go get a CT.
Good, go get it.
Here we have one CT off of a 1937 Indian Scout. This is what mounts the seat and gives it its play up and down as you ride. Okay, brother.
What you got?
I got the classiest CT ever.
That is the CT. That's good right there. Okay, here we go.
Got your spacers.
Bolt. Spacers. You got it?
You ready?
Yeah, push it in.
There we go. Are we in?
That's it. You're in. Tomorrow is the day. No matter what it takes, we're going to have this bike ready. There we go. We're happening. That's it.
God, that looks good, Dale. And it's roomy enough.
Oh, that seat fits me, too.
So well.
Next!
All right. Fantastic.
Okay. Check that out, man. Supercharged Roush Coyote, 600 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, it's a monster.
Dude, Dan is gonna love this thing. He is gonna go insane. We got a haul ass on this, so let's turn the Mustang around. Let's start fitting this thing up.
All right, cool.
We spent a lot of time so far on the body modification on Dan's 67 Mustang, but we still got a lot of work ahead of us. He wants this thing done by the time he gets back from his European tour, which only gives us about a month to finish, and we still haven't even fit up the engine.
Got it.
Okay. The old Ford V8 just wasn't powerful enough. It was only 200 horsepower. We're putting in a supercharged Coyote, putting out almost 630 horsepower. This thing is a beast, so I have no idea how this thing's gonna fit in the engine bay and what modifications we're gonna have to make because I've never used one with the Roush supercharger on it. All right, follow me. We're using an engine hoist to lower the motor and the transmission into the bay for the first time. This could be the difference between something that goes really right or something that's really wrong. Keep on coming. Bring her on in. Come down. Okay, down. How we looking, Kirk?
Good.
Keep going. What's getting caught up there, Kirk?
We're good. No, we're good up here.
Wait a sec. Something's crammed in something.
Wait.
There you go. Now go down.
Wait.
What's the matter?
You could go back up.
What are we waiting on?
There's a vacuum modulator that's hitting the lip of the firewall. We can't go back any farther, otherwise we're gonna rip it right off the motor.
This chain bolt is hitting the firewall, and we're touching the bell housing on this corner of the firewall.
We're gonna have to cut that whole tunnel out right now. It's like trying to shove 50 pounds in a 10-pound bag. You know, there's no instructions when we're doing this stuff, so we've run into a little bit of a problem. The bell housing is hitting the firewall, which is keeping back of the motor from going up. And if it went up, it would avoid this lip right here, and it would fit underneath. All right, let's pull it back out where it was. And let's just cut that out of there real quick. Money on the ground. I was hoping with this new floor, this trans tunnel, it was going to fit right in, but I was wrong. We're trying to cram this thing in here, and that's just what it takes sometimes. You just got to start cutting, making room, and then once we make room, we'll start fitting it all up. Why do I do this to myself? Yeah, we can build it. Sure, no problem. I hate sleep. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold it right there. Okay, let me look at it. We're stuck. For tonight, we're gonna have to pull the motor and tranny back out, and then we'll hit it first thing tomorrow morning again. Man, that thing kicked our ass. Car 1, us 0. Come on in, Mitchell. We ran into trouble yesterday putting this huge motor in Dan Reynolds' 1967 Ford Mustang. Not going in like I wanted to, but we came up with a pretty good plan. We got to notch out the chassis, do some more work to the firewall, because every inch counts. We have under a month before Dan gets back from his European tour, so we got to figure this problem out because we still got a ton of work to do. How are we looking?
So we're good against the firewall. We're getting a lot straighter, a lot more clearance.
That's actually perfect back here. God, the motor's nice and level. It's perfect. That's where it needs to be. It'll probably clear the hood. If anything, we may have to do a little pocket for the AC, and we may have to just notch this out.
I like it. I think we just deal with a couple issues with the accessories as they come, and we're just gonna have to make room for them.
Well, hey, why don't we do this? We got it where we want it. Let's find some motor mount bushings and bolt it up there and make the cuts we gotta make, and let's get it tacked in there. How's that sound?
Sure.
Perfect. Well, looks like we finally got a good fit, and we got the motor and the trans sitting in the chassis. I'm gonna have the guys weld up the motor mounts so that we can see if this thing will sit on its own without the help of a hoist.
See if she holds her own weight. Oh. She's all on her own. All right, cool. She's holding up her own weight. Got the mounts tacked in there.
Now that we finally got a good fit for our new engine, the next step is to put on the new fiberglass bumper, the new hood with the hood scoop, and all of that has to get done over the next few days before we can fit everything up and Alex and the guys can get this painted and back in for final assembly.
Alex, can I talk to you for a sec?
Just got off the phone with the customer. Changes. He wants changes.
You want to change?
Yes. I sent some pictures to Dan to give him an update, show him where we're at with the car. He texts me back and says, stop. Call me ASAP. He doesn't like the original Eleanor bumper or the angle that the front of the car is on. So he sends me a picture and says, can we make it like this? This is a game changer because I am going to have to make it to what he is envisioning and hopefully find a happy medium between the bumper we have and the profile he's looking for. He wants the Eleanor hood. So I've already ordered one. That shouldn't take us so long to change out. But he also wants the front bumper recessed. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more of an angle as well. You know, he didn't make a big deal out of it. He knows what he wants. So that's fine. I totally get it, and we got to make it happen. Let me measure this out, lay it out, cut it, sink it back in.
I'll take an inch out and I'll bring it in. Okay.
Taking off an inch may not sound like a lot, but that means I got to redo all the angles of the entire front end of this car. We don't have a lot of time left. Dan's going to be here in less than 3 weeks. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. All this is doing is stressing me out. Basically what we've done is we've cut the bumper, we took an inch out, we set it back, we left a ½ inch gap over here on top. That gave us a little bit more of an angle to the bumper to follow this line a little bit better, and it moved it in pretty much an inch. I think that's it, but I am going to send some pictures to Dan just to get final approval. Once I get his approval, we'll glue it back together and continue on with the bodywork.
I'm just about finished with our restoration on the super rare 1924 Izzata Freschini Tipo 8A. And just in time because our client Alan is here to see how his baby drives with new rebuilt wheels. What's going on, Alan? Good to see you.
Oh my God, what a thing of beauty. Unbelievable. This is one of 20 surviving examples that are left of this model.
I mean, it's a beautiful car, but it's stepped up its game a little now.
Well, tell me what you did on the wheels.
Well, obviously, you remember the wheels were in horrible shape when they came in. I mean, it was just old, rotted out wood. So, I mean, we went right through, we glass beaded them, cleaned them right down to the bare wood, polished them, did all of our body and paint work on them, cleared them, then hand pinstriped them just to look like they were. Powder coated the outer rings of the split rims.
Phenomenal.
Redid all the cowl panel for you. We've got just a little more striping to do, and the hood panels will be ready to go on. So we were actually about to take it for a test drive.
Today?
Right now.
Phenomenal.
Let's do it, huh?
Excellent.
Right. You want to do the honors?
I will do the honors.
Let's go. Alan's here a little early to test drive his 1924 Izzata Freschini Tipo 8A. But we still have to finish the engine side panels. He wants to drive this thing right now, though, which is okay with me as long as it's all right with him. I mean, we can put the hood on afterwards. Besides, we're going to be showing off this Izzata's beautiful straight-8 engine, which was the first of its kind in the world.
Oh, my God, Steve. This is exciting. The only thing we need is power steering.
Yeah.
Or some muscles to go with it.
Right. Exactly. It's good for you. It's a perfect day to have a convertible out.
Doesn't get better than this. This is a great drive, a great day, great job. This is what the car hobby's all about.
Throttle cable broke. I really don't have time to take the whole handlebar apart. This will be a miracle if this plays off. Come on. Get in there. Come on.
Today's our annual end-of-the-year gala at Wheels Through Time, and Bob and I are going to start some extremely rare Crocker motorcycles. Not one, but two. And people are coming from far and wide. The problem is, only one of them's running.
The throttle cable broke, and I've already got the new throttle cable made up. It's just trying to fish this cable into this extremely sharp bend.
I have to run the throttle through the open end of the handlebars all the way down to the carburetor, where it regulates the amount of fuel and air mixture into the engine. The problem is I can't get the cable past the first bend in the handlebars, and our visitors are showing up in droves to hear this bike run, and it's not running.
I really don't have time to take the whole handlebar apart. This baby's on its way back together.
The throttle cable on the Crocker nearly gave me a heart attack, but now I've got it connected. There's hundreds of avid motorcycle enthusiasts that are dying to hear these Crockers run. The problem is, I haven't had time to test this machine. This is really a trial by fire.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody. Yeah. Thank you. A little minor mechanical mishap, but we're all here at Wheels Through Time. And what we're going to do today is we're going to start some incredibly rare motorcycles for you. For those that don't know anything about the Crocker motorcycle, these bikes were built in Los Angeles from 1936 to 1942. They built 71 Crockers, but they only built about 26 with this particular engine design. That's called a Hemi-head Crocker. Both of these machines I found in California, and their proximity is only 14 serial numbers apart. So these bikes were probably in Al Crocker's shop at about the same time. They don't really sound like any bike you've ever heard before. Fire that thing up, Bob. I think you're ready to go. Full advance. There you go. One kick. Close. A little more throttle. A little more, Bob. No throttle. Starting an 80-year-old motorcycle has the inherent risk that it may not start. I hope I can get this one fixed on the spot. Otherwise, we're going to look pretty silly. Yeah, come on, Bob. Okay, now wait a minute. Stop. Hop off there. I'm going to crank this thing up. Everybody comes to Wheels Through Time to see Dale start a bike.
What?
Right?
Second time.
Here
it'll
we
start.
go. Ooh.
Well, I. Oh.
Bob forgot to turn the gas on. Who turned the gas off, Bob? Bob turned the gas off.
That was me. Now we're pumped.
Okay, Bob, it's all yours. Give it a try. Turn that, make sure the gas is on.
Oh, the gas.
One good kick, a little bit of retard right there, a little bit. I'm really hoping it's only because the gas was off the Crocker wouldn't start. These people have come thousands of miles to see this machine run, and if it doesn't, that'll be the only thing they remember. As anybody who's worked on old classic iron knows, there's always some trial and error to get the bike fired. The beauty is we successfully started both Crockers, and these bikes were built probably weeks apart. Another great event at Wheels Through Time, and Bob finally gets to ride the bike of his dreams. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem. Can you come and check the hood? We just put it on and it looks bad, really bad.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So we're coming down the home stretch on this 67 Mustang Eleanor. Dan decides he doesn't like the hood scoop. So I've ordered a new one. Dan is a high-profile client, so this thing can be nothing less than flawless.
This is longer. If you push it like this, I mean, it makes it longer, more than what it is.
We get the new hood with the hood scoop that Dan wants, and it does not fit. It's protruding out further than the other one. It's not following the fender lines. It's terrible. Why don't we just cut this scoop out and throw it on the other hood?
Just cut the center out. Put that one in.
That's good. That's what I want to hear.
So what we decide to do is swap hood scoops. We cut out the one that he likes and the one that he doesn't, and we swap them.
Let's get it done.
Boy, this hood is bad luck. We need to get this off of here.
I don't have no lights, and you broke in my last one.
Sorry. I'll get you some new ones, okay?
Give me 2 lights, please. I'm gonna need them today.
I'm gonna go bury my head in a hole so it doesn't get any worse.
It's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Okay? We take care.
It's behind this wall. Are you ready, man?
I'm ready. He opens up the garage door and... Oh, my God!
Dan's reaction is the best reaction I have ever got from any customer.
Oh!
The car is done. This custom 67 Mustang is everything I ever could imagine. This is truly a car for a rock star. We started with an Eleanor from the remake of Gone in 60 Seconds. But what it's morphed into is something entirely different, and it's a one-of-a-kind supercar.
Hey, man.
Hey, dude.
What's up?
How's it going?
Good, man. How's life? Got here to pick up the car and am very excited. I can't even put into words how I feel.
Oh, man.
I'm a little boy
excited.
at Christmas. I freaked out like 10 times on the road when he sent me a picture and then like, oh, I don't know if the hood's right, or should we do this on the back, or should we do the wing or not?
Someone was asking me, hey, do you ever have a hard time letting go of cars? This one, I think I'm going to have a hard time letting go of.
Really? All
yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying not to have expectations because that's just such a frightful thing, but I just expect to be happier than I've been maybe in a long time.
It's behind this wall.
All right.
Are you ready, man?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.
All right. He opens up the garage door and, oh my gosh. Sounds are a big deal to me as a musician, and I know the sound that I want to hear, and it sounds exactly like I would hope it sound. Oh my gosh. And I see the car rolling out. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Everybody says that objects can make you happy. I am gonna have to dispute that. Oh, I feel very happy. Yeah, about as happy as you can get, I think.
What do you think, man?
There are no words to describe what I think.
Check it out,
Dude,
man.
what have
Look
you
at
done?
it. This looks like an Eleanor, but this thing is so much more. This is a supercar Eleanor. There's nothing like it on Earth. I mean, this thing is
I've
badass.
never seen a more beautiful car, ever. And
Dude.
oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
See, you're already
That
noticing
is
all the
just
changes.
incredible.
We handmade these out of metal instead of the big, bulky fiberglass ones.
Oh, dude, just the curves and the cut, like, and, oh.
I know you wanted the trim around the back here, but I was like, God, it looks so beautiful.
It's so classic.
So simple, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ah. Oh my gosh.
There's not one thing on it we haven't touched.
So badass. Oh my gosh. How did you fit that in there?
It was not easy, man.
I feel like I need to drive it with the hood up.
We could take the hood off.
Yeah, yeah.
We got all the wiring hidden, so you don't see anything.
Yeah, it's super clean.
It's super, super clean, just so it's like the engine sitting there. With our chassis, it allows us to open up the engine bay 12 inches from factory.
Perfect. And I love that it has your own artistic touch to it. Oh, man. Oh. I mean, this is just such a thing of beauty. I love how clean it is. I think so many people overcomplicate things.
Yeah, I like simplicity. It says a lot more than being loud. We take it for a drive?
I think we need to take it for a drive.
Let me get it in the
All right. Listen to that. That is just, there's no better sound in the world.
Dan's reaction is the best reaction I have ever got from any customer, and I've been doing this a long time. His expression and his excitement, that's what I do this for.
Let's take her out. All right, let's do it. Yes, indeed. You know, Mustang just speaks to me. Everybody who's really into cars, you just have a car that kind of calls out to you. And since I was a young kid, Mustang always felt very masculine, but sexy and classic. And it's just been a dream since I was a young kid. Oh, man, this just feels great. This is incredible. To think that I'm going to be able to do this all the time. I mean, this is just...
You're a good guy. You deserve this.
Hey, man, right
That's
back
awesome.
at you. I appreciate it. You don't deserve it enough, though. Yeah, you're probably all right.